Okay, kids, we're going to talk about popular sovereignty in the Kansas-Nebraska Act. Why are these things a big deal? I'm going to talk pretty fast to try to keep the time down, so I would pause on several occasions and write some stuff down, or at least rewind and make sure you know what's going on. The idea of popular sovereignty is letting citizens vote, and the issue that they're going to vote on here is, whether or not they're going to allow slavery in Kansas and Nebraska territories. And why would citizens be so upset about this? It's pretty obvious that it's above the Missouri Compromise line, so it already was supposed to be decided, and slavery was a very big issue between the North and South already. So this is a map of what this looks like. You can tell right here, why would this be an issue? Well, one, it's not supposed to have slavery. It's just supposed to be a done deal. No non-negotiable, no slavery up here because it's above this line. The other issue is that Kansas is literally surrounded, like you can see right here, by slave states. So those states are going to try as hard as they can to get this vote to pass for slavery. If I lived in Missouri or Arkansas or Texas and I had a farm, I would probably try to move, and I would try to move over into Kansas to uh, to sway the vote to get slavery to pass, because I'm for slavery and I want to make sure that it does. Now, it all started with this dude named Stephen Douglas, who's going to run against Lincoln in a few days here. He voted for a railroad, a senator from Illinois. He voted for a railroad to increase expansion to the Pacific coast. Now, the reason that he voted for this is because he owned the railroad company, and so he was going to get a lot of dough when it was built. But in order to build this, they wanted to organize the territories into states, and so they couldn't make Kansas and Nebraska states yet unless they decided what the final resolution was going to be for slavery. So you're starting to kind of figure out how this is going to go. So these two territories are going to become states, and there's going to be a railroad built from Illinois all the way over to the Pacific Ocean. So the concerns here would be that it would take jobs away from the whites, it could spread slavery into the North, and it takes away the Missouri Compromise. People in the North were super concerned that because Kansas was surrounded by slave states, that they would lose the vote. The Southern concerns are it once again gives the North what they want, because they know that if they allow popular sovereignty to rule the rest of the United States, then they're probably going to lose it in those territories from the Mexican-American War, like New Mexico and Arizona and California and Utah and Colorado and all those. This leads to a concept called bleeding Kansas, where you have the Jayhawkers who are pro and ruffians who are anti, and there are going to be tons of fights. I mean, we're talking like some pretty rough fights where lots of people ended up dying. The question that I asked you that I already answered in the earlier screencast is, how could citizens try and sway the vote? What kind of things do you think people would try to do to sway the vote towards whatever they preferred happened? That would be something we'd want to consider. Now, the results of this are the citizens vote to prohibit slavery in Kansas. It does not pass to have slavery. What this does is, one, obviously says no slavery, and two, in Kansas, and two, it really increases the divide between the North and the South. It was just another divisive issue that kind of ruined their relationship. So your tasks between now and tomorrow. Number one, you should make sure that you wrote down good notes either in your targets or in your notebook. And number two, I would like every student who watches the screencast to come back to class tomorrow, which is Thursday, with at least one question that they don't understand about what I just said, or a question that they thought of while they were hearing some of the stuff that we were talking about that they'd like the answer to. The chances of a quiz on Thursday, November 6th, I would say looking pretty good right now. Okay, so make sure that you write down the questions and review the screencast so that you know how to answer these questions. Have a good day, and we'll see you tomorrow.